Chapter 30, Air Brake Foundation Systems and Air Brake Circuits. Day 1, Video 10, Pressure Protection and Drain Valves. So the pressure protection valve acts as a one-way check valve. It allows air to come from the air dryer, all right, from the charging circuit, and then into the reservoir. But if we have a failure on the air compressor side of the charging circuit, and let's say the driver runs over a pallet, a piece of wood comes up there and knocks the air line loose. This one-way check valve allows the air in, so we've got a poppet valve with a spring behind it that allows pressure to come up, open up the valve, allows air to flow into the tank, all right, from the air compressor. But if we have a problem in the air compressor, that spring-loaded poppet now will close and not allow air out of the tank back towards the air compressor. It will only allow air to flow out into the circuit, the primary or the secondary circuit. So that's part of that pressure protection. It allows air pressure in and only allows it to go out into the system, not if there's a failure in the system leading into the air tank. So we're trying to protect that tank. Air can get in, but it cannot get back out, only in the direction that we allow it to. And then drain valves. We have to have a way to drain off the air or any of the water or oil that has built up in the air tank. So we've got manual and we've got automatic drain valves. The manual one would be a drain cock that's located on the reservoir with a cable coming off of it. That's one where the driver walks by and, as part of his daily inspection, pulls on the cable and causes a certain amount of air to drain out of that tank. And the thought there is it's on the bottom of the tank. Any of the moisture and oil will collect on the bottom of the tank and then be expelled out of that drain valve. An automatic drain valve here is where it's again it's hooked into the air tank, and then it's got a diaphragm and a valve that will move a little bit under pressure. So the thought here being is when it is building pressure, we're going to have a status here where it's going to hold that valve closed, and then it will sense a slight drop in pressure, up to a 2 psi drop in pressure. So when that air compressor unloads or turns off, it's going to sense a drop in the pressure, just a couple psi, and allow this diaphragm to move up just for a slight amount of time, a couple of seconds, maybe 4 or 5 seconds, and purge out a small amount of air out of the reservoir. Thought there being, again, we're going to be in the bottom of the tank. Any moisture or oil is going to collect down here, and that will be what purges out of this drain valve. So it automatically, every time the compressor cycles, you're going to get a short squirt of air out of each of these drain valves, and any moisture that's built up is going to be consistently or constantly purged out. Right? So every time it cycles, we're going to get a small little release of air pressure, allowing any of that water or oil to flow out, and keeping the tank empty of any moisture or any oil. Last thing we want to do is have that tank half full of water, and then that reservoir is not going to be able to hold as much volume of air pressure in there, and then we will cycle through that air too quickly.